How's your writing going? Are you thinking about what's best and then giving reasons? Hmm, thinking about the writing we've done throughout the year, what you've done throughout this school year. How do you know what makes writing really good writing? Like when you did small moments or story writing, how'd you know if that was really good story writing? Hopefully, you're thinking about that you started strong and that you told the story in order and that you added excitement to the story. What about information writing? How do you know if it's really good information or how to books? Are you thinking about you name the topic and then you write it part by part and then you stick to facts that teach people? Yeah. Well, we're writing a whole new type of writing, aren't we? And sometimes that's tricky. How will we know if we're doing it really well or not? Do you have some ideas? Well, writers, today I want to teach you that when you write something, it's important to understand that kind of writing. And then think about the writing you're doing and figure out ways that people who do that writing really well, what do they do? What kind of decisions do they make? And then you can try that in your own writing. So you can use a checklist, and I've kind of already used one so I can show you what it might look like when you use this checklist with your own writing. It's kind of like a dog show where the judge uses a checklist and comes up with what is the best dog of that show. And then they have the reasons. So let's see if we can compare them on the same items and think about, is that done really well? And is that something I could try in my own writing? First, let's just read this. This is by Brandon, a first grader who told me I could use his writing to share with you. It's about bugs and pinchers. It says, all the bugs in my collection are gross, and that is cool. I like a lot of the bugs, but the one I like best is the giant pincher beetle because its pinchers really grip things, even someone's finger when you squeeze its back. The pinchers snap closed. The beetle is better than the fly, even though the fly's eyes are cool and glossy green. The beetle's better because it's bigger and because the fly doesn't do anything good like pinch things. It just stays still. Today, I made the beetle grab the fly and pinch it, and then I pretend it ate a fly for its dinner. Oh my goodness. I did not expect that ending, did you? That was a good move. Well, let's look back. This says, overall, did this Brandon writer, did he write his opinion about his likes and dislikes? And he said why? Yes, he did. Overall, he stuck to that topic and he focused on his opinion of what's the best bug in his collection and gave reasons. Yes. The lead. I wrote a beginning in which I got readers' attention. I named the topic or the text I was writing about and gave my opinion. I started right here because he did it right here. I like a lot of the bugs, but the one I like best is the giant pincher. Yes, he did that, didn't he? I checked yes. Next it says, I said more about my opinion, and I used words such as and because. I heard a lot of and because. He says gross and that is cool, and he says that I like them because it's pinchers. And then down here, he even says the beetle's better because it's bigger and because the fly, oh, this writer did a lot of use of because and, so I definitely checked yes. I wrote an ending for my piece. You remember that part about the dinner table? It was surprising, but yes, this piece definitely has an ending. I wrote a part where I got readers' attention and a part where I said more. I noticed that right here where he got my attention with gross and cool because those aren't usually words I put together. And then down here he used glossy and green, and he talked more about the eyes being cool. And at the end, he even talked about it just stays still. He really gave me an idea all through the piece about where he got my attention to start and kept talking a little bit more about it. Nice organization on this writing piece. How about elaboration? I wrote at least one reason for my opinion. This has such great writing and great ideas, but it really only has maybe 2 or 3 reasons. So maybe they're really great and we could put him over here, but because he did so many other things well, I thought maybe that's a place that this writing could grow even a little bit more with some more reasons. How about craft? I used labels and words to give details. And I put that one as starting to as well, because even though he used some great words, he might want to go back and add some labels and a little bit more to his picture, or describe maybe the color or the size of his beetle. And this says spelling. I used all I knew about words and chunks of words to help me spell. And I think he did do that well. I mean, he used pinchers, and that's all the sounds. And he was able to use giant, that's really good. And then I noticed right here, he might want to skate through some as he looks back at his writing. This says collection. He might want to do collection, and then skate through it with all those sounds. But he's doing pretty well overall. How about I spelled all the word wall right, and I used the word wall to help me spell other words? Well, if we're not in a classroom when we're doing the checklist, we might just have to think about the word walls that we've learned, the word wall words that we've learned. And if we're in the classroom, we can just look at it and kind of check our spellings, can't we? The last part of the checklist is I read sentences with punctuation. I ended them. And I used a capital letter for names. And I used commas in dates and lists. I'm going to continue to look over Brandon's writing, but I want to get you going on looking at your own with the checklist and figuring out what you're doing really well. And then maybe thinking about what's next or what are your goals for your writing. You can use the stars that are on here to think about what's going really well. And then the stars over here to reach for the stars. All right, off you go.